changing.
It's not over there?
That's for sure.
Yeah, okay, because that has the updated agenda behind it.
It's a little nerve-wracking in that thing flying down the
Hi, John. Thanks.
Ready to rock and roll.
All right.
Good evening. The December 9th agenda meeting of the Milltown Borough Council will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Here.
Councilman Farkas?
Here.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Present.
Councilman Legati?
Here.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Here.
Councilman
Excuse me,
Revelinsky?
Here.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 present.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read the meeting statement?
Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this regular business meeting of the Borough Council was provided by the adoption of a resolution and the posting, filing, and forwarding of a copy of the same to the official borough newspapers, Home News Tribune, and Star Ledger Publishing Companies on January 10, 2019. Public participation in this meeting will be permitted during public hearings and after the agenda of scheduled matters has been completed.
Thank you. Please rise for a moment of silence, followed by a salute to our nation's flag. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first thing this evening is we have a presentation for the Fire Academy graduation certificate to Mr. Phil Palmer. I will turn the meeting over to the Fire Board.
Sure.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So, as in keeping with a recent tradition, the fire department, we've been presenting our recent graduates with their academy certificates at the council meetings. We think it's a nice experience. So, I'm going to start. I'll just read and insert from the academy. County Middlesex Fire Academy. This certificate is awarded to Phil D. Palmer for demonstrating the commitment to reduce the loss of life and property from fire and other disasters by satisfactorily completing the Middlesex County Fire Academy training course entitled Firefighter 1, Michael Gallagher, Middlesex County Fire Marshal. I would just like to add that this course now takes almost 6 months to complete, 3 nights a week, over 3 hours each night. Phil has put many things on hold. He has a professional career in the medical field. He also has 4 children and he is married, who is here tonight. And usually when we hand applications out, you get a small percentage back once they see what goes into actually becoming a firefighter. And when I saw a guy in his 30s that has a great job and a big family, I said, yeah, right, you can write this one off. And the fact that he got this done with flying colors just amazes me, and we're really proud of him. And I think Milltown should be proud of him as well. It blows my mind. I couldn't do it at 30-something years old with 4 children and being married. It's truly an accomplishment. We should be proud of that. And I'd like to turn it over to the Captain Veg Company and the master.
Okay, as an added bonus here tonight, part of being a new member, you become what we like to refer to as a probationary member. Part of your probationary period is you have to learn the various functions of the firehouse, the fire company. You don't ride first due. You learn everything you're supposed to learn. You master the trucks. Well, I'm here, and it's my job as captain to deem when the probie is ready to become a full-fledged member. So Phil has been wearing probationary member number 7. So tonight we'd like to present Phil with his permanent number. Welcome to the tribe. You're number 50, and you're now a full-fledged member. You're no longer a probationary member. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hey, Dad.
Mr. Palmer, on behalf of the residents of Milltown, we'd like to thank you in advance for being our newest hero. Thank you, sir. At this time, I'd like to make a special mayoral proclamation for Mr. Gerard Capella. Mr. Capella, I'll meet you in the front of the room. Sorry, Jerry, I had to do this today. Come on over here, buddy. Good evening, I'm Mayor Stieber, and this evening I am making a special mayoral proclamation honoring former Milltown resident Gerard Capella. Whereas the Borough of Milltown Mayor and Council would like to recognize Gerard Capella for his lifetime full of achievements and his service for his community. And whereas Mr. Capella was born and raised with his siblings in Milltown and chose to raise his own children here with his wife Diane. And whereas Mr. Capella has dedicated his life to serve and protect his community, Mr. Capella not only volunteered with the Milltown Rescue Squad from age 15, but he also served in the Office of Emergency Management as the Deputy Coordinator. During his time in these roles, Mr. Capella assisted in multiple disasters that affected Milltown, including 2 hurricanes, and was integral in securing FEMA funding to alleviate some of the losses faced by the borough. And whereas Mr. Capella also spent time as a council member of the governing body for the borough and served 2 terms as Borough Council President. Mr. Capella worked on the Finance, Electric Utility, Shade Tree, and Public Safety Committees throughout his tenure on the council. During this time, the council undertook many projects in the borough, but most notably was the receipt of grant funding for the Mill Pond Park. And whereas, while there were many notable achievements, it is difficult to measure the effects of a community leader such as Mr. Capella and the Borough of Milltown that will reap the benefits of his compassion, dedication, and ingenuity for many generations. And whereas Marcus Luttrell, U.S. Navy SEAL, said, "There are a lot of things in life that matter, but nothing matters as much as who or what you decide to serve." Now therefore I, Eric A. Stieber, Mayor of the Borough of Milltown, do hereby honor Gerard Capella and thank him for all of his hard work and service, and urge all of our residents to join me in heartfelt thanks. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the official seal of the Borough of Milltown to be affixed this 9th day of December 2019. As I said earlier, Mr. Capella has recently moved out of our community, but there are few people, and I've been active here in Milltown my whole life, who have done so much in so many diverse areas for our community and its residents, as Mr. Capella has. Jerry, thank you very much for everything you've done. If you'd like to, it would be great.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the...
Get onto the microphone.
Face the camera.
There you go.
Gee, I wonder where they're going.
I'd like to thank you for your kind recognition. As the mayor said, I did grow up in Milltown. I was born and raised here, and raised my children here. We did move both further south. I love this town. I still love this town. My family's still here. As a matter of fact, my niece, as January 1st, will be a member of the council. I was honored to serve the community. I was always taught by my parents that service is above all. And that's what life's all about. If you can't help one another and be kind to one another and help one another,
then we have no purpose here. So, thank you all. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Next on the agenda is miscellaneous engineering items.
You're up, Lou.
Got anything, Lou?
Excuse me,
You're
Mr.
in.
Mayor. Yes, 2 items to report. 2 items tonight. The first is the latest round of the water sampling for the borough's water system has shown an action level exceedance for lead. The NJDEP has been notified, as is required, and we're coordinating with the state with regard to the next steps that will need to be taken. Second item is that we are pleased to report that the borough has received a municipal aid grant in the amount of $555,000 for the West Foch Avenue area roadway improvements. Those improvements include roadway improvements to West Foch Avenue, Hague Avenue, and Patain Avenue to the extent that the funding will permit. And that's all we have tonight, Mr. Mayor.
That's wonderful news, Lou. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any questions for the engineer?
We have, if I recall correctly, from the letter we received from the state waiving our requirement for the corrosion inhibitor, we have, was it 12 months or is it 2 years? Do you recall the time frame of which?
I think it's 24 months.
24 months.
We don't know that is a foregone conclusion. We're going to be in discussions with the state as to what the next steps are. But I believe in that initial letter was 24 months.
Any other questions? Seeing none? Audience comments. Please limit your comments to things discussed at the agenda meeting. With that, I'll open audience comments. Seeing none, I will close audience comments and accept a motion for adjournment.
So be it.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Dixon, seconded by Councilman Revelinsky. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting, the December 19th, 2019 meeting of the Milltown Borough Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Here.
Councilman Farkas?
Here.
Councilman Kerber?
Present.
Councilman Legati?
Here.
Councilman Mayer?
Here.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Here.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 present.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read the meeting statement?
Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this regular business meeting of the Borough Council was provided by the adoption of a resolution and the posting, filing, and forwarding of a copy of the same to the official borough newspapers, Home News Tribune, and Star Ledger Publishing Companies on January 10, 2019. Public participation in this meeting will be permitted during public hearings and after the agenda of scheduled matters has been completed.
Okay, thank you. We will dispense with items 4 and 5 because we've already done that. We'll go right into item 6, consideration of minutes from the November 18th, 2019 meeting. You've read the minutes of the meeting. What is your pleasure?
Move that these minutes be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Council President Dixon, that the minutes are approved as typed. Is there any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
So moved. Okay, next on the agenda is a public hearing, which I believe is being tabled until the next meeting?
December 23rd.
December 23rd meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do we need to make any motions on those?
No.
No? Okay. Next, we have audience comments and questions on resolutions and bills and claims listed on the agenda. If you have any comments or questions, use the microphone in the center of the room. Give your name and address for the record when recognized. Remember, comments and questions are limited to the resolutions and bills and claims listed on this evening's agenda. With that, I'll open audience comments.
Phil Zambrana, 40 Van Loo Avenue. I just have one question concerning Resolution 19-292.
Okay.
It's going to be a drone right on top of your house.
That's, yeah. So what are these drones going to be used for?
It's actually, this is a request from the police department.
Mhm.
They're going to use it for law enforcement purposes. They haven't specified what it is, but a lot of times it assists them with investigations. They have a missing person, they have criminal suspect at large. This typically is the applications that drones are used for.
So this is the first step?
This is the first step.
And then, so the drone will be purchased, and then protocols and such like that
That's
will
correct.
follow? This isn't something that's going to go into effect January 1st?
No, this is the first step that
Okay.
it's a requirement of the FAA that you send in a public declaration letter.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Will we be getting one of the drones via the LISO program, perhaps?
I do not know.
I'm thinking small, not large.
I can answer, the county has drones that are available for departments to use. So although we may not get one immediately, we will have the use and to call one in. And you have to have the FAA approval for them to come out with that.
Okay, next on the agenda is bills and claims. Will the clerk please read Resolution 19-286 by title?
Authorizing the payments of bills, claims, and statements against the Borough of Middletown in the total amount of $3,696.20.16.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move that this resolution be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Council President Dixon, that the resolution is adopted. Is there any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
So moved. Okay, next we have the reports of standing committees and introductions of resolutions. A consent resolution has been prepared to cover the 8 resolutions listed on this evening's agenda. Any member of the council would like any of those acted upon individually, please give me the resolution number and it will be pulled from the consent resolution.
Mr. Mayor, 19294.
Okay. Any others? Hearing none, will the clerk please read the consent agenda?
Whereas pursuant to the rules of council, the council may establish a consent agenda for any regular or special meeting, and whereas the Borough Clerk has posted a consent agenda for this meeting, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Middletown, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, that the consent agenda previously prepared by the Borough Clerk be approved, that the necessity of having the individual resolutions read by the Borough Clerk.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move that this resolution be adopted.
I second.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Councilwoman Kerber. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
Will the clerk please read Resolution 19-294 by title, please?
Borough of Middletown Council Resolution authorizing creation of a volunteer seed planting project.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move that this resolution be adopted.
I second.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Councilwoman Kerber, that the resolution is adopted. Is there any discussion?
So, Mr. Mayor, I just asked to have it pulled because I had a question. It says that it's to plant seeds and position plants in optimal parts of the borough. Who or what department will be organizing that?
That would probably be Public Works because of the parks. And what the program would represent is children in the town to get a little pot with soil and seeds to take home and plant it and, water it and take care of it. And then Ralph and I, and anyone else that wants to be involved is fine. We would take out sections of areas that need to be planted in some of the parks. And that's why we thought that would be a great idea instead of all the nice greenery, but start utilizing, making some plants and flowers to beautify the town.
So it's going to be the DPW that does the
Yes.
planting?
Well, no, the children would do the planting, but they would do they would carve it out or just, loosen up the grass if we're going to put it in a little grassy area, so that makes it easier for the young kids to do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
So moved. Okay, next we move to the report of the Department of Finance, Administration, and Planning, chaired by Council President Ronald Dixon.
No report this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from the Department of Public Safety, chaired by Councilman Nicholas Legatti.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just two small items. Last week, we had the chief of police in conjunction with, I believe it was South Amboy? Yes, with the slowdown in our town, and our first street that was affected was Kuthlau Avenue. I think it's been a successful campaign so far. The residents seem to appreciate it. This is a moving product. It will be on Kuthlau, then it will move to different streets within Milltown as the year goes on. There was a little episode on Channel 12 News that we got a little publicity on. Tap into Milltown, it was also in. So it seemed to have gotten a good review, and I'm very proud of our chief and our sergeant who are in charge of our, public safety and traffic rules. The second thing was I attended the Board of Adjustment meeting this past Wednesday, and it's not too late to get your paperwork in if you want to serve on the Board of Adjustment. Please speak with the Borough Clerk, and we'll get you all set up if you'd like to participate in that particular board. And that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from the Department of Utilities, chaired by Councilwoman Trina Mayer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report tonight, although I would like to just say thank you to the Utility Department for getting the holiday decorations up. I know that they had a lot of other things going on, but we appreciate them finishing that up last week. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from the Department of Public Works and Recycling, chaired by Councilwoman Dorianne Kerber.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Borough Council meeting report for Public Works, along with all regular curbside collections. DPW was, with the assistance of the County Fire Marshal's Office, removed a beaver dam that was impeding water flow and causing flooding issues in the area of Ford Avenue and Northbrook Drive. Leaf pickup has taken place at Pardon Tennis Courts, Joffrey Park, Herbert Avenue Park, and Milltown Senior Center. Leaf cleanup of public parks and buildings will be ongoing until completed. Borough Hall has been cleaned of leaves, and all holiday lights plus decorations installed were prepped for the annual tree lighting. All flags along Main Street and Washington Avenue have been taken down for the winter. 6 Public Works employees have been recertified in CPR and first aid. A dangerous broken branch hanging over the roadway was removed on Howard Street. The next cement collection will be January 13th through January 17th, so please call 732-828-2100, extension 187, to get on the list. Garbage collection for Wednesday, December 25th will be on Thursday, December 26th. Collection for Wednesday, January 1st, a garbage collection it is, will be on Thursday, January 2nd. DPW provided assistance to the Utility Department by supplying 2 laborers and an operator for a water main break on Bernhard Road. Please check Channel 15 and milltownnewjersey.org for DPW updates. In addition, you might have received this postcard. The majority of town, I believe, has, regarding recycling notice. Please, no plastic bags and no pizza boxes. This is going to be effective December 19, 2019. I just happened to be in East Brunswick last week, and they use the same service we do, same recycling company through the county, and they did leave containers at the curb. I guess they didn't have the right recyclables in there, and they refused it. So that will happen, and it has happened in other towns already. So please make sure you don't have any number 3s to 7 plastics, any bags. Pizza boxes and a bunch of toys are usually rarely recyclable. They're trash. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next, we hear from the Department of Environmental Health and Social Services, chaired by Councilman Randy Farkas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only report tonight is that the members of the Environmental Commission would like to wish all residents a safe and healthy holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from the Department of Recreation, chaired by Councilman Richard Revelinski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry if I'm a little hard to hear tonight. My voice, for some reason, went out this morning. I'd just like to, before I get started on the recreation report, just add to Councilwoman Kerber's comments there regarding recycling. I was fortunate enough to meet our DPW workers out there at the curb this week during garbage collection, and they were nice enough to point out that I had a few items in my recycling that should not have been in there. One of which is Christmas lights. If you've got old Christmas lights, and I was thinking glass, wire, plastic, goes in recycling. They said no. They were nice enough to tell me that it doesn't go in recycling, put it in the garbage can, and they took it on their way. So that's just another one for you. Our guys are doing a good job of trying to catch this stuff beforehand so your stuff doesn't get left at the curb, but please pay attention to that. For recreation, December 9th, SAC reminders. Parents, please be advised there is a half day on December 20th. SAC will be providing pizza, lunch for the children. If your children will not participate in the lunch, please remember to pack their lunch. The SAC program will still operate until 6 p.m. Please be advised we are requesting all SAC parents to go into their accounts online in the Community Pass system and update and complete all of your information in its entirety. Please be sure to update pickup authorization, permission slips, and pertinent information. All information must be updated by December 20th. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. Please also note that beginning January of 2020, we will no longer accept SAC payments in the SAC office unless it's cash. All payments must be made online through Community Pass. Recreation. Youth basketball registration deadline was December 6th. That's only 3 days ago. You may still sign your child up online with a late fee until December 13th. When registering for any SAC or rec program, please enter your address as it appears on your utility bill, or the system will not recognize it as a Milltown resident and you will be charged as an out-of-town resident. So again, please make sure your information in Community Pass matches how your address is written on your utility bill. Please note that recreation programs are subject to cancellation at any time by the Board of Education as school functions take precedent. We will try our best to reschedule as soon as possible. Thank you for your cooperation. We are in need of youth basketball coaches. If you're interested in coaching, please contact the Recreation Department. The next coaches certification meeting is January 23rd. Please note that Recreation Committee will meet on December 18th, as usually scheduled. And Mr. Mayor, that completes my report.
Thank you. Is there any old business to come before the council this evening?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to let everyone know I have begun my green infrastructure champion. I'm on the advisory committee starting in January. In addition, I will be working with Edison Environmental Commission and Green Team to present to them the information. In addition, I'll be doing the food waste program. Edison school districts have been interested in it, and I will be leading the way and then letting the rest of the partners take over and do all the training and get the shared tables in the Edison school districts. I just wanted to share that with you. People are reaching out to me for my services and my knowledge and my training that I've received this year and last year. So I'm very excited to help other towns as well.
Thank you. Any other old business?
Mr. Mayor, I have a matter about which I'd like to
Sure.
update the council. With respect to the Ford Avenue redevelopment, if you have not heard, about 2 weeks ago, through John Hoffman, a complaint was filed on behalf of the Borough of Milltown and Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency it's called an eminent domain complaint. So we are now seeking to obtain title to the property at Ford Avenue that is currently owned by SB Building Associates, or Mr. Berger as we know it. That complaint has a return date, or at least the order to show cause component of it has a return date that's just now been set, and that's for January 24th of 2020. And that hearing date will determine Mr. Berger, through his counsel, is going to be filing opposition challenging the jurisdiction of the Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency to seek eminent domain. So the court will make the determination at or around that date as to whether the redevelopment agency has a jurisdiction to obtain eminent domain. If that order is issued by the court granting the redevelopment agency the right to proceed with eminent domain, then at that time, the redeveloper would thereafter be required to pay that money into court based upon what the appraised value was. So that is the current status now. I'm available after the meeting as well if anybody has any particular questions, but just for your information, things are proceeding along.
Thank you. Any new business to come before the council this evening?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I was supportive of the Edison Green Team Environmental Commission for a grant in requesting treed seedlings, and that in doing so, Milltown will be receiving a portion of those. So the clerk has my personal email address, so if you're interested, anyone is interested in a treed seedling, feel free to reach out to me. They will be available March to April for handing out. So maybe I'll set up something down here at Borough Hall. This way we could just hand them out front if anyone is interested. Thank you.
Any other new business? Hearing none. Audience comments. Please state your name and address for identification on the record.
Margaret O'Donnell, 89 Coutha Avenue. I'm sorry that Councilman Legati stepped away. I wanted to thank him and all the members of the council and the team who supported the Slow Down in Our Town campaign and all of the efforts on Coutha to slow traffic and ensure the safety of pedestrians in the area. I posted some of the pictures on Facebook, and there's been a lot of feedback about areas in town where people are running stop signs and tailgating and obviously speeding and disregarding crosswalks and things like that. So I'm happy to hear that it will be moving around to other areas of town and satisfying some of the other members of the community. But thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Margaret. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll close audience comments. Council comments.
Okay, I just want to say, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, whether it's Hanukkah that you celebrate or Christmas. Certainly we all celebrate New Year, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. For the last 6 years, I've learned quite a bit, expanded my knowledge, and I will continue my efforts within Milltown and the surrounding towns and accomplishing the goals of whatever the county initiative plans are, as well as the town, and helping out wherever I can. Thank you. I really appreciate the time that I've spent on here, and I hope you have a great 2020.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, mayor comments. A couple quick comments. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. The last meeting of 2019 will be held December 23rd. It's a special meeting, so it may or may not be broadcast. I do not know. We will find out. And on a final note, I'd like to thank the residents of Milltown for allowing me to serve them governmentally for the past 25 years. God bless you all. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And with that, I'll accept the motion for adjournment.
So be it.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
You did it.